All right, welcome to my FX Buddies, the podcast. And I say podcast because there's multiple mediums to get this content if you'd like. So there's a transcript. Oh, there was a new place. There was a new country. It started with an M. Oh my gosh. Okay, tomorrow, or well, the next time I do an update. I'll give a shout out to the new country on RSS.com. Most of the people that go there are out of the country. So that's interesting, but I'm sure it's because they need help understanding me. But anyway, plus, you can copy and paste it into Google and Google will translate it. Anyway, so, um, what else? I just got notification I'm also on Amazon Podcast, My FX Buddies, Apple Podcast, My FX Buddies, Spotify.com has audio and video, and My FX Buddies everywhere. That's what I go by. Well, like I don't have social media or anything like that, but if I did, that's what I would be, My FX Buddies. All right, so anywhere that you listen or watch this, if there's an intro, open more description, if there's that kind of button there, click on that and a link to the blog will be there. Because I know it's easier just to click a live link than to type in myfxbuddies.blogspot.com, right? All right, so we'll get into it. There really hasn't been a lot of news. I'm going to summarize the Kurds. Okay, I don't report on the Kurds because it doesn't matter what they do. They're not holding up the RV. And they can't, if Baghdad can't get themselves together, right? Then why would we expect the Kurds to get themselves together? So if the powers that be wanted this to go, it wouldn't matter that the Kurds don't have their government formed, right? It wouldn't matter, whatever, okay? So that's why I don't cover them. And plus, that's a separate roller coaster inside Dinarland. They come out and they say, oh, yes, we had great talks and everything's been resolved. And here we are, January 22nd. We're still here waiting, right? So, and then the other thing, the budget. I don't know if you know, but since this is my first time talking about it, the budget amendment. Achwani took it upon himself to add another amendment to the amendment. So that is unconstitutional. I don't even know if he has the right to do that. But if he does have the right to do that, it still has to be approved by the Council of Ministers. And they knew that. So when they sent it to the House of Representatives, they were like, we can't vote on this, not with his addition. So they pulled it and they didn't vote on it. So we're still waiting for the budget amendment. I'm actually waiting. I was hoping today there would be something from Sudani about that, but there wasn't. And then tomorrow's Thursday, and then we're back to a holy day. And Sunday is a holiday, not for everyone, but it's one of those. It's either Sunni or Shiite, somebody for some prophet, peace be upon him. So Sunday's a holiday. Yeah, but um what's the other thing? Okay, then there's three laws: the general amnesty, personal status, and something about giving property back to certain people. Those have nothing to do with the RV. Again, that's another roller coaster. If you want to follow it, go ahead. It has nothing to do with money, nothing to do with the RV, and so they were all excited. Oh, yes, we voted on these three laws. They're done. They're showing all over the TV. The parliament members are ruckus because they're celebrating. And then the next morning, oh, that was unconstitutional. We're taking you to federal court. So there's another delay. Even though the Judge Ziad, who's Iranian, he's the Supreme Council, he denied that, oh, this is ridiculous, but they're going to appeal it. So those laws are on hold until Tuesday. That's when he's going to hear the appeal. I don't see what would be any different. That was my phone that went off. But so those are things. That's why I focus on the money. Well, and the oil. You have to focus on the oil because the oil is how they make their money. But yeah, so you're welcome to go follow the Kurdish stuff and the laws that have nothing to do with the RV, but I just prefer to do other things. All right. So, this article really isn't that important to me. It just had a nice picture. But I did think this was a different reason for halting of investment projects. I was thinking it would be delayed salaries, would make the people unhappy, reserves being short, something, but this is a current member of the Parliamentary Finance Committee. He said the largest or most prominent challenges are halting of investment projects, which is what is happening right now. So you can read that. The other thing he covered was he added that the subject of the oil and gas law represents a radical solution to end the oil file with Kurdistan Region and regulate financial relations between the two sides. But here he's blaming Kurds, the region is Kurdistan, saying they have not yet committed to delivering any financial revenues to Baghdad. So there we go, back and forth. We sent everything. No, you didn't. The minister, Sammy, she came out and said, oh, yeah, I've received everything. Remember, she said they have submitted everything, but something's missing for December, so we're not sending December money, but we will send you January's money. So that's another reason not to follow them, not to follow that, because it's back and forth. Is it really and is it really not completed? Do they just have to appear to be working for their country, for the citizens of the country? Because we know that oil and gas law basically is settled. The terms have been set by the Constitution and they've been agreed upon. So it's more than just these. Whatever the truth is not in these articles. So. All right, there's that. Here's Sudani in a telegram to the T-Man. We are committed to strategic relations under the umbrella of respect for sovereignty and non-interference. So I'm sure that message is not only to us, but probably to Iran as well. But I like this. Sudani stated that the Iraqi government adheres to strategic relations with the U.S. and seeks to activate and implement memorandums of understanding. Now, if you're new, Iraq does things in 3 phases. They approve, they implement, and they activate. So that's why I like to see when they say activate. All right, here is an Iranian source that probably wants to be, who requested an anonymity, said that they revealed the date of negotiations with America, but guess what it is? In the coming months. So, but at least I say there is a possibility of direct negotiations between Iran and America in the coming period. So I was wondering, is Iran's definition of coming period different than Iraq's definition of coming period? So, let's see. The Islamic Republic of Iran. Oh, yeah, this is good too. The Islamic Republic of Iran has announced its readiness to negotiate with America, and therefore there is no need for further pressure to push it to the negotiating table. So in the past, the powers in Iran either would just flat out not want to meet, or they want to meet through a third party. But this guy, the new president, he's like, no, I want to meet face to face. I'm ready to come to the table. You don't have to force me. So that's a change. Also, just on the side, Iran has announced that they're going to take pressure off of the females for the head thing that they wear, the hijab. And that is a major, major change. I'm not sure if it's we're asking them to do that or if the people are asking them to do that. I don't know, but that is a big change for Iran. All right, so here is the Minister of Finance. See, she's showing them the table or graph or whatever spreadsheet saying no money can be sent at all for December as we have done our duty, but we will send salaries for January 2025. So there's that. Now this I also thought was interesting. Some of you may remember this guy. In a previous government, there was two Alawis in government. This guy, Muhammad Tawfiq Alawi. So I don't know if he was out somewhere. It looks like he was just out, maybe at maybe the book fair, and these people came up and interviewed him, and he was very forthright. He said, Alawi reveals the parties that own the Iraqi dinar and are ready to buy the dollar by any means. And he doesn't name names, but he does say the corrupt class exists and needs the dollar. This is what caused the difference in the price of the currency. So you could read this, but he's basically saying there's a reason this hasn't gone. People are still making money off the spread between the official rate and the parallel market rate. And that's a guy that used to be in government. So I really thought that was interesting. And he wasn't in government capacity. He was just out regular, having a good time visiting whatever he was visiting. And the news saw him and interviewed him. All right. So if you didn't know, President of Iraq, Abdul Latif Jamal Rashid, he is at Davos, as well as I think 3 people from Kurdistan are there. And he has been having side meetings galore. Here he met with Honeywell. He met with Amsterdam. Oh, I forget that country. It's another country that starts with B, but it's not Bahrain. But I've seen like 6 different countries that he's met with. And the Kurds turn around and meet with them too. They just don't meet together at the same time. But here's a speech that Sudani gave in Britain. But what I like about it is he says Iraq is a pivotal partner and national decision-making sovereignty is a priority. So again, he's talking about Iraqis are proud people. We're not going to let anyone push us around. We need to be partners, right? Very different language than from prime ministers in the past. You could read that. Here, the member of parliament reveals reason for postponing vote on amending budget law. So you could go to the blog, you could click on this link. That link will take you to the actual article. It will come up in Arabic and then you just translate it whichever way you want to. But this was on the 21st. It was postponed due to the government sending a new amendment to the amendment sent previously. So that was unconstitutional, and I think they were trying to either they did it knowing it was gonna cause a delay, or they tried to be sneaky and slip one in. So whatever, it's caught. They got caught. Oh, here. So yeah, see, here's the son Barzani. He met with the Yemeni leader. They even have Syria, the what's the word they use? I can't think of the word, but it's a temporary government, right? They were invited to Davos also. All right, here's my one commercial. You can go here and buy me a coffee. If you like to use QR codes, there it is. The words here will be a link to it. All right, so these are today's articles. This is Mustafa Hantush. He again talked about how important it is to use electronic payments. But they just had how many articles over the weekend and Monday talking about brand new notes, brand new paper notes, and look at all these features they have on them, right? So, I don't know, just like everything else, there is, um, oh, well, I heard a good way to describe. I can't remember, but there's conflicting articles for both. But we do know they want them to go cashless. But so it says electronic payment reduces the cost of paper currency, supports economic transparency. Yeah, because they get to watch everything you buy. And there's one more. There's usually something about safety, significant expansion. Oh, financial inclusion. Yeah, so there's that. And he also talks about here, they started 8,000 devices. They're up to 40,000, but that's still low because they want, right? Sudani wants the whole country to be as advanced and modern, right, as Baghdad and Kurdistan by July. All right, let's see. Oh, you know what? I forgot. Let's see. Um, I forgot some articles. So I'm going to pause and put those other articles in. Hold on. All right. So here we are. Iraq enters a new phase of cooperation with America after the T-Man assumes the presidency. So this is good. Let me see. There are many questions that have begun to be circulated about what awaits Iraq after Trump's arrival. I said his name. Whatever. What will happen and whether there will be economic or political consequences on the near horizon. So there's still a lot of apprehension, but it's so strange because well, I don't remember stuff. But I don't think he was particularly bad to them his last time, right? I don't know. But clearly they can see he's different this time. And yeah, so I'm going to show you something, but you should read this. You should read this article. And so these are why I say prepare to be here until June. And we're not done. All right. The central bank's measures and cooperation with government enabled the economy to recover and move towards recovery. So this is Samir Ansari writing yet another positive article pointing out all the things that were done during not only 2024 but 2023 to implement a detailed roadmap. And he does have some numbers down here, right? Some percentages and stuff. So, growth in foreign trade and all of that. So, good. All right. Iraq's economy on the verge of collapse. Expert warns of the consequences of not passing the amendment to Article 12. So here's another article about if they don't hurry up and pass this Article 12, well, the amendment, right, then things are gonna get worse. But they're not, because I'm 98% sure they're doing oil contracts and they're just not putting the right rate, because there used to be, in the past, they would put out, okay, these people met, they did this deal, but the details of this deal are not going to be disclosed at this time. They would put that just like that. So, even though they are losing billions of dollars, especially through that pipeline that goes with Turkey, because they can't control that one, right? Because that's another state and he can do what he wants to do. But in between Iraq and Kurdistan, they can keep that within each other, right? So, but yeah, so this is, who's this saying this? Oil expert. Ooh, look at that name. Sherwani. I can say Sherwani, but that, I don't know. All right, let's see. Now, this is interesting. I'm sure this right here is a bad translation. So, sand is, oh, his picture didn't show. Let me see. That's the guy right there. That's him. I don't know why his picture didn't show, but that's him. Um, he detonates surprises in the eighth. I don't know what that is. That may be the name of this news website. The Washington Embassy wants to amend the Iraqi budget. So you see, he's putting it out there. And he's a member of the Finance Committee, so he would know. He would be privy to that information. Let's see. He confirmed there was great joy following the vote on the general amnesty law, explaining that the passage of this law came within a political agreement reached during the formation of the current government. Blah, blah, blah. But, here he said, we amended Article 12 of the budget to restrict revenues to the state treasury, and the Prime Minister added an amendment stronger than the Ministry of Finance's amendment. Now, he's saying the Prime Minister added that. But another article said it was a 2020. So, but really, it doesn't matter who did it. It was done, and now it's been held up. So, oh, here's the part. Sand confirmed the U.S. Embassy is seeking, that's my phone, is seeking to amend the parliament by contacting all parties, and has threatened to punish Soma, which is a state oil company. So they're threatening to punish Soma in order to pass the budget. So we're putting pressure on them. Yeah. All right. And he says, financial front. Iraq is going through a stifling financial crisis as it is now almost without cash liquidity. So see, here's a financial committee member saying there is a liquidity crisis and we are going through a financial crisis. But they had all those, Mohammed Saleh. Matter of fact, he's been quiet for the last 2 days. Anyway, Mohammed Saleh, Ali Alak, they all came out and said, no, there's no liquidity crisis. Everything's fine. So someone's not being truthful. And I believe this because that's what the people are saying too. All right. So here's another article about the Kurds clinging to the T-Man's curtain. But what I really wanted to... So this came out in the morning. Rashid, Abdul Latif Jamal Rashid, he's the president of Iraq. He said to Zelensky, he met with Zelensky in Davos. So he told them Iraq stands at an equal distance from the Russian-Ukrainian conflict. So I'm thinking maybe Zelensky wanted Iraq to take sides, and he was like, nope, we're not taking sides. So that was this morning. And then later today, this comes out. The T-Man gives his envoy 100 days to resolve the Russian-Ukrainian crisis. So, if there are people who believe the RV won't take place or rate change won't take place until this is resolved, but a very positive thinking person said, well, just because he gave them 100 days doesn't mean it has to take 100 days. And I said, you're right. So I'm going to focus on that it's not going to take 100 days. But even if it is 100 days, it's still better than June, right? Because June is more than 100 days out. So that's it. There's still projects of galore, bridges, streets. They had an article about all the tons of cement they're producing. What else? Um, there's just so many good things that are happening. But, we're still stuck and just waiting to see what happens. So this is it. I don't want to drag it on. I don't want to ramble about anything. Um, I just wanted to do this. I probably will post again on Friday, right? Because today's Wednesday. Well, there is something about the banks. Um, there's something about Jordanian banks and America, but I'm kind of burnt out about reading all this stuff tonight or right now. So I'll read it tonight, and if it's worthy of doing, I'll put a post tomorrow. But I'm thinking my next post will be Friday, unless something spectacular comes out. Now, they did have another article about Sudan. There's lots of stuff going on in Sudan, whatever. Um, 7 places in Sudan are going back to their old currency. But why is that in Iraq's news? Because they're showing them currencies from around the world. That's what I think. But anyway, all right. So thank you for listening. I hope this was helpful. Just a couple of people, well, more than a couple of people have told me, because remember I said if the T-Man gets in, it's June, right? Remember Ramadan's coming February 28th. So there's a couple of people that have said they're going to put their stuff up and they'll come back. And I said, great, because I'll still be here. So come back. And if that's what you have to do for your, I hate to say well-being, but I don't know. I don't know what else to say. If it's going to help you focus on life outside of Dinar land, then by all means do that. But please don't sell. You already bought it. Whatever you sell, it's not going to be worth it. And you'll regret it when it does happen. That's just my opinion, but I know there are people contemplating getting out. So, and I hope they don't. All right, that's it. Wherever you are enjoying this content, look for a join, subscribe, follow, like, something like that. Do whatever action is necessary to activate that, because I don't update regularly. So if you activate that and all things work as they're supposed to when I do update, you'll be notified. All right. So thank you. Enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you're enjoying this content. And until next time.